Up and down these headlights go, I feel full. Round and around my head goes in circles.
Today on the podcast, I'm here with the Declan O, who I am doing producing an EP for. So Declan, how long have you been making music?
Making music? Do you mean like recording music or just like making
just
music?
Anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up playing the drums. My dad got a free drum set, which was like a hand-me-down from one of our family friends, and he started playing because he played when he was a little kid, and from a young age I started playing.
I love that.
And it was awesome. I was terrible, but I loved it. I listened to like Green Day and the Foo Fighters, so I would like mimic their drummers. So I wasn't like, at a really young age I wasn't really playing. I was I just loved the idea of it.
Yeah.
And I would like hold guitars and like play music over speakers and pretend like I was playing. But I didn't start playing music until like 4th grade. I remember I took like 3 guitar lessons. It was like 3 weeks. I never practiced like when I was supposed to. He would send me home with chord sheets, whatever. Never practiced. And then in 6th grade I picked it back up myself. And I haven't put it down since, so.
Awesome. Well, what or who inspired you to pursue music as like a career?
From a young age, I was like, I would love to be a performer. I would love to play music, so.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know. At some point when it got closer to like graduating high school and stuff, just going through my high school career, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do something with music.
So were you like playing gigs and stuff while you were in high school? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I played with a band.
What was the name of the band?
Okay, so this is gonna. okay. So the band came up when I was a junior. My buddy, who's super into business, he loves it. He was in FBLA. Future Business Leaders of America. A lot of kids in my grade were in it. It sounds very fancy, but it's not. It wasn't that.
What is it?
Not to like put slack. They worked very hard, but he put together a benefit concert with my friend Mike and my other friend Kara, who helped him with it. They put together a benefit concert. They put the whole thing together. I didn't know about it. I didn't ask him about FBLA. Like, I took my classes, he took his classes. I didn't really care. One day, he starts telling me about this benefit thing he's trying to do. I'm like, okay, like, cool. So, like, why are you telling me this? He's like, oh, because you're the musical act and, like, you and your band. I'm like, that's great. I don't have a band, like, at all. I don't know what to do here. So I started playing the drums with this kid Garrett, who became a good friend of mine. There was another musician who is so talented. He's awesome. He goes to Monmouth University and he has a couple albums out with multiple different bands. He's great. He plays in Philly all the time. He's an awesome kid. His name is also Mikey. But he was a bass player and he's like a metalhead, big underground guy, alternative guy. And it was cool, and we kind of mixed it with me and like my hard rock and then like jam band stuff that I loved. So yeah, and this is gonna sound arrogant. The band was called Hara and Friends. I didn't name it. It's because we came up with a bunch of stupid names and we were pitching them to my friend Mike for this benefit show, and he's like, I'm not putting that on the poster. And we're like, all right. So we're like, why don't you just name it? And he just named it that, and we were like, okay, like, whatever.
Now if it works, it works.
Yeah, well, at the time we didn't even know if we were going to keep playing shows.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I need to get a band together for this. So we called it that, and then everyone loved it because no one expected to see the mix of kids that was on stage together be on stage.
So cool.
And because the name is kind of ridiculous in itself, like, it just sounds effortless, we just kept it because it was funny.
So when did you decide to go to Nashville? Like, how did that happen?
So Nashville happened, I started reading up on Nashville like when I was like a freshman, sophomore. I was just fascinated by like Music City, whatever. And then I never went. This also, like, a lot of stuff went down when I was a junior in high school. I got to visit Nashville. We were just like, you know what, let's check it out. I had like a 4-day weekend or something, and we went, and it was awesome. It's a very seductive city. Like, you get there and you see all like the bars, and there's music playing everywhere, people walking around. You're like, this is awesome. This is where I want to be. So yeah, throughout high school, I knew about Nashville. Once I was a junior, I got to go. And the first time I ever went, I was like, yeah, I want to go here. And then I found SAE Institute, which was amazing. Small little audio engineering, entertainment business school.
Nice.
Right on Music Row. They got great connections. It was cool. So I found them. Like, some people had to audition. It wasn't really an audition more than it was like an interview. And you could play music if you wanted to and whatnot. So I got to do that. And it was kind of nerve-wracking. I had to wait till
I
hear
bet,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, but they were so nice. It was very like family-oriented there.
Good.
It was amazing. So.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you talked about how it was like an audio production school. So I know you're both a musician and a producer, but do you like focus more on one?
Definitely focus more on music.
Yeah, on the performance.
Yeah, like I can't help it. Like if I have like an off day from work or whatever I'm doing, like I always pick up the guitar and I'll always like put something together. Like I'll just be noodling something, it won't be a song, and then I'll start playing the same progression over and over again until it sounds like a riff to me. And that's when I'll go like record it just to like track it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I won't care. I just want like a rough recording, and I just record acoustic vocals and just leave it. And other times I'll like listen to it and I'll be like, that guitar would sound cool. And then I get lost in the mixing and producing side of it, and I start messing around.
There is a very fine line there, so. But yeah, I know that you love to perform for sure.
Yeah, performing's fun.
So what's your favorite like song or album ever produced?
Ever produced? From a when I was a young kid, I remember we would always blast music in my dad's Jeep, and the speakers were so good, and there was great subs in there, and I didn't know what any of that stuff was at the time, but I knew there was certain songs he would play that it wasn't even because of the lyrics or the riffs or whatever. It's like it just sounded so good, like the mix was so good. And I remember one of the songs being "When the Levee Breaks," Led Zeppelin. And I later come to find out it was the drums. It was the kick. Like I would be in the car and you could like feel it in your chest, and I loved that so much. But yeah, I came to find out at a later age that Led Zeppelin recorded that album in the early 70s, and they used 3 mics to record the drums. They had 2 overheads and a kick.
That's it?
And then a room mic, I think, so 4. Okay. Like if you listen to the beginning of that song, that drum beat, it's got a very like and it's all echoed, and they did that in the 70s on like 8 tracks. That's so cool. Oh.
No, you're good.
Okay, am I cool?
Yeah. Okay. So, Kingstown was a poem your dad wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like for your mom? Or?
Yeah, it was like to my mom.
Was she from Virginia? Is that
she's not from Virginia. She went to Georgetown, and my dad moved to Virginia like when they got back together, when they both graduated, and they lived in like Arlington and I guess all these towns that I name in here. I don't know. I've honestly not asked them too many questions about this. I kind of just wrote the song and just let it. I let it. They heard it, and I just let it sit with them. I didn't ask too many questions.
And that's so funny that because I didn't know Kingstown was in Virginia, but I had to like pick a reference recording that I think it sounded like, and I picked Virginia by Ron Pope.
Cool. Nice.
All right, so let's do "Must Be the 4th."
Must Be the 4th I wrote last year.
Yeah, I love
interesting.
The video.
Yeah, right. Very interesting. Very interesting. My music is all over the place. Like I have stuff like Hangover Song, and then Must Be the 4th. Those are like the polar opposite.
Yeah, it's like country.
Very country, like heartfelt song. You know, I don't know. I think what I wrote that in like November, and every fall, like it's happening to me right now. Every fall, I start going down like the folk rabbit hole. Dawes, Gregory Alan Isaacoff, the Avett Brothers, and it's simple acoustic banjo and stuff. And I was like, I have a banjo. I don't really know how to play it. I'm not that good, but
you figured it out.
well, I was like, I want to try and like record something.
And then Johan, that is my uncle's song,
yeah.
CJ's brother.
Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge.
Oh my gosh,
gonna be a
I know,
challenge.
It is. I got so excited because it's so fun, but it's a tough song.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be playing most of the instruments.
Round and around my head goes in a circle.
That was so dope.
If you want to hear more of his stuff or find out where he's playing his next gig, you can follow Declan on Instagram at DECLAN.OHARA, or you can find him on YouTube.